Welcome back. I would like to quickly go through the philosophy that's created this course. I had no philosophy, no conscious philosophy for most of my life before I began this type of work of addressing my inner reality so I can shift this outer reality. Now, my journey began in this first place, and that's why we're going to spend so much time here in the beginning of this course. And it's growing in self awareness through mindfulness. I started my journey with meditation, with yoga and qigong. This was such a powerful place to start to help me develop some tools and some skills to help me grow an awareness of the things that were holding me back, of the parts of my mind and my personality that were creating the suffering that I was experiencing. So we have to start in this place of understanding ourselves from a place of deeper awareness. Because we can only consciously create our life if we are deeply aware of the moment, deeply aware of what choice lies ahead of us, deeply aware of the pattern that our condition is pulling us down, and deeply aware of the place we would actually like to go. So if we can develop these tools, this is a beautiful place to start. Now, beyond that area here, if we want to create this desired life, just like this graph here, you'll see that we have mindfulness and we have tools at the top there. Now we have desired reality in the middle, but then on the three tips of this triangle here, you have peace, you have confidence, and you have a thriving life. Now, a thriving life is also a place of clarity. What does it look like to you, the life or the reality or the version of yourself that you want to embody? But at the top, we have peace. So many of us, we actually desire peace. And there's a certain level of peace, of inner peace, that's required to create something that is not from a place of stress or a past condition. So through that mindfulness and through those skills that we get to develop, we get to create much more peace inside of us, much more space emotionally, psychologically, from others and ourselves. And with that space and that peace that's cultivated, we have more ability to create conscious choice, which will lead us into this bottom corner here where we have this confidence. We need to have and develop the confidence to create that life we want. We also got to be really clear on what it looks like. But to do that here, you see on the sidebars at the top, we have awake and aware, and we have embodiment. We have to wake up to the things that are holding us back. We have to wake up to the things that can help support us and guide us forward. We have to wake up. We have to be turned on consciously to what's going on inside of us and around us. And then when it comes to this place of embodiment here, this is something that so many of us forget. We want this thing, but yet we don't express it. We don't embody it. We don't act it out. We don't speak it out. We have to practice. We have to show up. So if we go down this ladder here, we see that we have mindset here. We have a certain way in which we see ourselves. We see our lives. And we really have to address this place inside of us to create a new life. Of course, I wanted these changes and I was growing in awareness, but I didn't feel empowered. I didn't have a growth-oriented mind that said, doesn't matter where I want to go and where I am now, that if I show up every day and I improve myself, I will get there eventually. If I recognize that time is just this construct that I create, I could also create whatever timeline I want. I get to choose. This is a beautiful place to do a lot of our work, is in a place of mindset. Now, if we go another layer deeper than that, which we're going to, which once I started addressing my mind, once I started creating these practices, I realized that I still had a lot of emotional instability that I needed to address. I had a lot of wounds from the past or traumas that have not been dealt with. So then we want to deepen our awareness of now our emotional states, because our emotions create a frequency that attracts reality, that attracts events, that attracts people into our lives. And if we want to attract better, we have to be more emotionally sound. We have to emit a specific frequency, a vibration that actually lines us up to that reality. And so many of us are completely consumed and influenced by our emotional states. But they do not have to dictate and determine where we are going in life. We get to choose. I have these little stingless bees floating around me now here. They love to get the sweat off your face and such. But really what we want to do is we want to become aware of the mindset. We become aware of our emotional state. We want to become aware. Now, when we become aware and we attune to these things for ourselves, we get to turn something on that is purpose. Purpose, not in the traditional sense as if like I have this great purpose to do this thing on this planet for all these people. Because that will come if you live on purpose. And what I mean by this is, are you actually living out your day with great intention? Are you choosing where you're going? Are you distancing yourself from the familiar, habitual ways of the past to actually choose the things that will line you up with the reality that you want, with the expression of yourself that you want? Are you living on purpose? Are you turned on consciously and going there for you? Being and living from this place of consciousness, of on purpose, creates that life. But this is all ultimately the philosophy that has been created and cultivated over my journey, is that if I become more aware, if I become more mindful, if I understand my mindset, what's holding me back, what can be created, what can grow, what can shift, if I'm deeply aware of the emotions and the wisdom that are trying to express themselves to me, if I'm living intentionally and on purpose every day, well, it is inevitable that I will create the life and the experience that I want. It's just a matter of time. And matter itself, the physical reality, takes a while to catch up to the shifts that take place internally. But they will if you stay consistent and you show up. This is why this compounding effects and this course is designed to be here every day in the work. Because the more time you spend in the work, the more time you spend in higher levels of consciousness, the more energy, the more effort, the more focus you bring to this creation, the quicker and the more powerfully it will come. I'm sure you will develop your own version of your own philosophy throughout this journey with me. You might adapt some of this and you might not, and that's okay. Even as you go through all these lessons with me, you do not have to believe everything I tell you, but allow yourself to have an open mind, explore the possibilities and your curiosity to see what these different ways of perceiving these things, this different information can do for you. And if it feels good to believe it, if it feels good to practice it or to bring it into your reality, then take it on. And if at this point in time it doesn't, and it doesn't really align with you, don't. But just stay open to the possibility that it can bring you. That is how we create tremendous shift. We have to stay flexible and malleable, allowing ourselves to explore alternate realities to find out what lines us up with the one that really, really feels right. So thank you again for joining me on this journey. Thank you again for participating in this. Thank you for exploring these philosophies with me, because we're going to be diving into so many more throughout this course. And I'm really excited for you to see what comes forward for you, what changes and transformations are birthed from this experience. I appreciate your efforts. I appreciate your intention to show up here and to do this work for yourself and for the world, because all your interactions, all your experiences will change going forward. If you change, your reality changes, and the people around you are influenced in these powerful ways. They're inspired. Thank you for showing up. The world thanks you for doing this work. I appreciate you, and I'm excited to get the journey started. See you on Module 1.